Because fighters for Libya's new government are shelling Gaddafi's birthplace Sirte, and commanders on the ground say they hope to take the city before the day is out. As is often the case, firing rockets off the back of pickup trucks, rudimentary, but look at the effects the rockets are having on the centre of Sirte. A little bit earlier, commanders on the ground acknowledged it had been a tough fight, and about 3 weeks has taken so far. Well, this is another part of certain fighters there say they've overcome a particularly stubborn area of resistance, an area that was held by forces loyal to Gaddafi, but their progress does come at a price. Gaddafi's snipers are still there, and a number of fighters loyal to the National Transitional Council have been wounded. Some of them taken away in ambulances, more often than not just bundled, as here, into the back of a truck. To Zaina Hodder in Sirte to give us the very latest. 24 hours ago, I was talking to you. You were waiting to see what they would do next. What has been the progress since then?
Well, as we speak, there is a fierce battle for Ouagadougou Conference Center. Anti-Gaddafi fighters are heavily pounding that complex in and around that whole area, which is a Gaddafi stronghold in Sirte. And it's also believed to be where the main base, the command center of the loyalists, is located, but they are facing fierce resistance. Loyalists are not only using small arms fire and snipers to slow the advance, they're also firing mortars, rockets to prevent the anti-Gaddafi fighters from taking control of this strategic complex. But they have made progress elsewhere. They've taken control of a neighborhood known as Sabamiye. That neighborhood is not very far from the Ouagadougou complex center. It was where Gaddafi's colonels, commanders, officers, they used to live there. It was their stronghold. We were there just a short while ago. We saw the green flags hoisted on top of their villas. Inside their homes, we went inside their homes. We saw Gaddafi's posters. We also saw their army uniforms lying on the floor, and they had a lot of food supplies. And this is what anti-Gaddafi fighters told us, that they were prepared for this battle and they had a lot of supplies, while other civilians who were trapped inside were complaining of the lack of food, fuel, water and electricity.
I know a lot of civilians have left, Zaina. We see them daily in their trucks trying to get out of the city, but there are some still in there. How do the NTC fighters know that they are able to hit the targets they want and not innocent men, women and children?
Well, we've asked this question many times, and what fighters tell us is that most of the civilians have left. We've given them enough time to leave. It's been 3 weeks now since the first assault against Sirte, and according to them, the civilians are located in areas close to the coast, but there's no way of knowing if Gaddafi's men are using civilians as human shields. We do know that Ibn Sina Hospital is not very far from the Ouagadougou Conference Hall, and we do know that there are a lot of patients there with their family members. Even the International Committee of the Red Cross called on both parties to spare the hospital since it has been hit. So it's very hard for us really to say how many people are still left inside, but we have to bear in mind that there are civilians, armed volunteers, supporters of Gaddafi are also fighting. This is not just the Gaddafi army and the so-called mercenaries. There are civilians who believe in Gaddafi and who believe in the Libya of the past and who have no faith in the new leadership. And some Gaddafi loyalists, some civilians who have actually left Sirte have told me that. They say that we don't know where this country is heading. We do not trust these anti-Gaddafi fighters. We do not know if they're going to lay down their arms. So Sirte really is going to be a very big test when the guns fall silent. A test really if national reconciliation can be forged in this country.
Zaina, thank you very much indeed. That's Zaina Hodder in Libya.